Happy New Year, guys. Hope you're all well. So, 2025, brand new year, and I'm back with a pickups video. And as you can see, it's going to be Xbox focused to start with. This is the first one of this year. So I haven't made a video since around about May 24. Had a lot going on last year. I just didn't have the time to dedicate to YouTube. But I want to try and get back into it this year and start making more videos. So I thought I'd start first of all with this Xbox pickup video because that has been my main focus over the last 12 months. Well, not 12 months, since last May. So as like all of you, I was watching James yesterday, Retro Import Gamer, talk about lists. I have lists of things that I want to get, and I kept looking at the Xbox and the Xbox 360, and those games are still cheap. So I thought, you know what, Pete, just get them done. Just get them out of the way, because really for me, when it comes to actual collecting, it's more about anything before 2000. So PlayStation and all the good cartridge stuff. As far as like anything after 2000, it's really just about owning the games that I enjoy playing the most, that I play over and over again. I just want them in my collection so they're there whenever I want to play them. It's definitely not a collection thing. I do, of course, try and get them in good condition. I'm not just going to buy knackered games, but I'm not as dedicated to finding the best condition, absolute mintest possible one, like I am when it comes to Nintendo cardboard, for instance. You know, I just want them in decent condition. And the problem is a lot of these games as well, these Xbox and Xbox 360 games are on DVD. So quite frankly, trying to get them in excellent condition is pretty much a waste of time because the discs are usually scratched. So you just have to try and find ones that are the least scratched, which I've done quite well. I've been pretty successful. I did get a few earlier. I was going to say earlier, but it's 2025. End of last year, I got a few from a one seller who was selling off his stuff. And they were all in really nice condition. I did quite well there. But anyway, I've got a big stack, so I'm just going to jump in and just show you what I've got. Now, a lot of these games, I won't be doing loads of fancy editing and putting gameplay up like I used to. If you want to see any of these games, obviously there's YouTube available for that. I've done a ton of gameplays on original Xbox stuff over 10 years ago now, when I was early days of my YouTube. And I had a massive Xbox collection and I used to do gameplays all the time. So if you want to check those out, they're probably a bit rougher, to be honest. But nonetheless, I think most of you are going to know what these games are. Right, so first one is a brilliant first-person shooter, and that's Area 51. So yeah, nice condition. These are all complete with manuals, by the way. I won't keep opening them up and showing you. But yeah, a really solid first-person shooter. I had a blast on it last year. Got a bit further than I have before. Not a bad little shooter at all, actually. Pretty decent story as well. Yeah, surprising going back to this generation as well, how good the storytelling was. Because it's still a little rough. This is still the early days of what we have now in terms of storytelling games. You know, the whole cutscenes and the big stories. But I think they actually did quite a good job with some of these games. They actually put a lot of effort into them. And it's surprising when you go back and you think about the graphical abilities. But you look at the facial models, the character models, they're actually pretty decent for what they were doing. But they're on Xbox, so they always look better anyway, of course. Then I picked up another copy of Black. If you've watched me for a long time, you know this is one of my absolute favourite first-person shooters. I don't even know how many times I've completed this game now. It's just, I love it. I've got it on Xbox. I've got it on my Xbox 360 hard drive. I absolutely adore this game. The only reason I picked it up was purely because my copy didn't work. It kept playing up. Every time it would either not load the second level, or I'd get to the end of the second level and it would just freeze. So I don't know what was wrong with it. The disc was mint, that it had been resurfaced, and that caused the problem, but I could never get it to work. I tried it on the Xbox, I tried it on the 360. Eventually, I managed to get the Xbox original to recognise the disc long enough just to burn the data to the hard drive. And then I found this copy and picked this one up, which does work perfectly from the disc. So, and it is a fantastic game. Then I got some Call of Duty action. So we got Call of Duty 2, big red one. Great game. Finished this a few years ago, played through it. Really fun. I also felt like the audio was lacking a little bit. The music and sound effects were a bit slim on the ground, but the actual game itself looks gorgeous, plays really well. Decent little campaign as well. We've got Call of Duty 3, which this literally arrived this morning. A fantastic game. Not the best Call of Duty by far, probably right down the bottom, if not the worst one. But for me, I really enjoy what they did with this. And I've always said that this version on the Xbox is the better version than the cross-platform one that we got at the launch of the 360 and PS3. They're decent. I mean, it's nice to have the extra upgrading graphics, but I felt like for some reason it just feels like, and it probably was designed this way, should be on the original Xbox and PS2. It's that era more than it is the next generation. But nonetheless, pretty solid game, just not the best Call of Duty game. Then we have Call of Duty Finest Hour. I like this game a lot. Unfortunately, I can't complete it. I just think there's a level you get to with some tanks where you're walking down the street following the tank, and it just seems to get really dark and hard to see what's going on. Plus, I just get my arse handed to me every time I'm playing that level. It's quite a tough game compared to the other two. 2 and 3 are fairly easy-going campaigns and I can get through them, but Finest Hour is absolutely brutal. I always find that difficult to get through. I mean, the first few levels for years I couldn't do them. I used to get my arse handed to me on the rushing bits, but yeah, I will stick at it. I will not finish it eventually. It's a good game. I mean, all COD games are, aren't they, really? Well, I'll say that. I've not played the modern one, so who knows? Maybe they've gone to crap. Couldn't play Modern Warfare, the remake, because, yeah, well, that game's a pain in the arse. I've tried to find workarounds for that so many times. Next one, Dark Watch. So I remember I've only played this once, I don't know, maybe 10 years, maybe a bit less ago, when I first had it on my original Xbox collection. I remember it being a really cool first-person shooter. It's not a cheap game anymore. Don't get me wrong, it's cheap overall compared to all consoles, but on the Xbox, I don't remember what I paid for this. I think it might have been about £8 or something, which is not a lot of money, but for a game on the Xbox, I don't expect to be paying that. It's weird how some of the games at the moment, the price, I mean, Jesus Christ, I had a look the other day for Manhunt. I'm not a big fan of Manhunt, I just want to play it, because I don't think I've ever actually sat down and played it myself. My memory of it is my mate playing it on his PlayStation 2, I think it was. Might have been Xbox, I can't remember. But he was playing it with my best friend, and I watched him play it. And I've always wanted to go and play that, and I had it when I had that collection in the early days of YouTube. I wish I'd held on to that one, because now, at the moment, this week, I'm seeing people asking 45 quid for it, which is no way. Absolutely no way. I mean, maybe that's because of Xbox, the Game Pass bollocks. I don't know, but I am not paying 45 quid for a copy of Manhunt. Sod that. If it was a game I absolutely adored and I'd play for over and over again, yeah, of course I would, but it's not, so I'm not going to spend that money. Next one we got is Dead to Rights 2. I don't have the first one yet. It's on its way, by the way. I've ordered that, so that'll be coming. But yeah, I love these games. I can't remember which one I like the best, 1 or 2, but I don't know if I completed them, but I know I played a good chunk of both of them. I used to have sealed copies of those back in the day and all. Damn. I wouldn't get them anymore. But it's a really cool third person. It's sort of like Shadow Dancer in a way, but with guns. So you just run around with your little trusty dog and shooting people, and the dog can savage them. It's a really fun game. Next up, we've got the Doom 3 Steelbook Edition. Now, I've got the original normal version of Doom 3. I'll be totally honest with you, when I bought this, I forgot I'd got that. But that's what happens when you don't check your lists. So yeah, the steel is in really nice condition as well. I was really surprised when it arrived, because as you know, normally steelbooks, they tend to be rusted. The Halo 2 one in particular. Yeah, Halo 2, that tends to be. But this one, pretty nice shape all the way around. Very happy with it indeed. So the only reason I've got this, other than the fact that I forgot I'd gotten the standard edition, and this is not cheap either, it's a few quid. I wanted to get it purely because it's got Doom 1 and Doom 2. I don't know if it's the PC versions, I assume it is. So I wanted to get it just to have those, because it'd be cool to play on Xbox. And it's just a nice steelbook. I'm not a big fan of buying steelbooks. I like watching other people pick them up. I know Pixel Paul's a big fan of steelbooks, and I've watched his videos recently where he's been showing them off, and he's got one that I really, much as I don't want to get into the whole steelbook collecting, he has got the 24 The Game steelbook for PS2, which I absolutely love. That game is phenomenal, and yeah, the steelbook, very nice. Next up, we got some James Bond action with some Everything or Nothing. I loved this when it came out, played the hell out of it, completed it. As an adult, I'll be honest with you, now I've played it a few times. It's kind of frustrating to play. The car bits are decent. The third person bit is it's so awkward to play. It just feels really, I don't know, I find it very difficult to get used to the controls when you go back to these early third person games. So I will stick at it. I really want to beat it, because I absolutely love my James Bond games. They're some of my favourites. But yeah, other than that, I mean, graphically and the sound design, I mean, spot on. You can't go wrong. The Bond games are always good in that department. We've got, what's this? Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects, which is a third-person action game. Again, I've not played this for a very long time. I first picked this up in Bristol. Oh my God, I don't know how many years ago. It's on an old video somewhere, on a pickups video. I picked it up at CEX in Bristol. And yeah, I remember getting it. It cost me a tenner back then. I don't think it cost me that this time. I think I paid a little bit less. And this may be one of the games I got from that really good eBay seller who was doing some really nice deals. But yeah, it's a good game from what I can remember, so I thought I'd grab it. We got one of my favourite first-person shooters from this generation, Pariah. Fantastic Xbox exclusive, and if you've never played it, I highly recommend playing it. It's a sci-fi shooter. I completed it when it came out, absolutely loved it. Definitely one of the games that I would say is worth owning an Xbox for. when you're looking at exclusives. A phenomenal first-person game. No, some more Bond action. Nightfire. I know it seems that every time I watch anybody talk about Bond games, they all love Nightfire. Not me. Not so much. I like the game. It's good. Starts off great in the snow. Then it goes weird in Japan. And then I don't know. Then it goes a bit Counter-Strike on some of the levels, which is really weird. And I managed to get all the way to the end when you're on the moon. And I've never been able to do that. I just can't defeat that bit. I don't know how to do it. And it's frustrating. But I like it. It's a good game. It's definitely not my favourite game. My favourite game from this generation is From Russia with Love. And then my second favourite is Agent Under Fire. I love both of those games. Next up, we've got Mercenaries Playgrounds of Destruction. Is it Playground or Playgrounds? Playground of Destruction. I love this game. Third-person action game set in North Korea. Just doing open-world game like GTA. Running around, blowing shit up, driving really great vehicles. Fun game. Really fun game. I remember when this came out back in the day and I had my modded Xbox, had this burn on the hard drive, sitting in the lounge, just chilling, playing it on my CRT. Absolutely love Mercenaries. It's got so many nostalgic memories for me, so it always has to be in my collection. Next up, we've got the only Prince of Persia game I care about on this generation, and that is Sands of Time. Another one in really nice condition. Yeah, I've never completed this. I'm not very good at these Prince of Persia games. And to be honest, in general, the only Prince of Persia game I know that I've completed was the Forgotten Sands on the PS3 and 360. That game's epic. Absolute nightmare with the controls, and the end of it drives you insane, but the game is brilliant. Yeah, so I need to complete Sands of Time. I've never done it, and it's the only one I've liked. I don't like the other two. I find them quite boring to play, but that one, it looks nice, plays great. Last two on the Xbox, we've got Urban Chaos, a phenomenal first-person shooter. I believe this is on PS2 as well, I think it is. Obviously, it's going to be better on Xbox, it'll run smoother and look nicer. But yeah, absolutely fantastic game. You have a riot shield and a gun, a taser weapon. You can take down criminals, shock the hell out of them with a taser, smack them in the face with the shield. Absolutely great. And the graphics, man, the graphics hold up really, really well. Absolutely stunning looking game. Never completed it. I remember I got stuck in a stairwell and this dickhead kept killing me. Really annoying. Great game there. And lastly, for the original Xbox, we got 13, which I think everyone knows because it was remastered on PS4, I think it was. Everything gets remastered now, so it's hard to keep track. Yeah, really cool cel-shaded first person, like Cold War era, I think it was, like JFK era. Spy thriller, first person shooter, just absolutely superb. I love the art style. I thought that the cel-shading was a cool idea. So it looks good, plays great. I've got a lot further now, although I got to, there's a bit where you got a sniper on the other side of a building, if I remember rightly. You have to get up to a window and I don't know, I got my arse handed to me again, so it's kind of frustrating. But nonetheless, pretty decent little game. I do like it. I will eventually, hopefully, beat it. I'm going to just keep sticking at these games and see how it goes. Next up, we have the Xbox 360. So I haven't got as many 360 games, and to be honest with the 360, my plan originally was, because I finished the PS3 last year, I don't need any more games for that. That's not to say I'll never buy another game for it. I mean, I'll keep the door open, but I think I've got all the games that I had back then, all the games that I really enjoy playing over and over and over again. I don't really need to add in random games like Mod Nation Racers and things just because I want to try them out. I don't really see the point. I've got a shelf full of PS3 and I'm happy with that. I don't need multiple shelves. So I was going to just get exclusives on 360, I'll leave it at that, and I was happy. But then I thought, sod it, because when I'm actually in the future, if I'm able to get a game room where I can have everything set up the way I want to set it up, I can have the 360 and PS3 set up. And this way, if I just buy the games I like on both consoles, even if it's the same game on both consoles, I don't have to keep switching between machines. I can just, if I'm feeling like playing Xbox, I can play Xbox, play whatever game I want, and same with PS3. So there will be some games here that I already own on the PS3. Right, so first up we have, and these are in the wrong order, but it doesn't really matter. So we've got Top Spin 2, yeah, 2. I love Top Spin on the original Xbox, which I haven't actually got yet. I need to get that. Really fun tennis game. I mean, it's just a tennis game, nothing exciting, but it's good. It's good fun. Nice on arcadey as well. I can't be doing simulation, I need to have it arcadey. Then we got one of the launch games, Perfect Dark Zero, in the Steelbook, because this is what I had at launch, so I wanted to get the steel again. It's in lovely condition as well. Look, absolutely fantastic. Beautiful shape. Very happy with that. The game's not that great. I mean, let's be honest, it isn't. It looks fantastic. I think for a launch title, it's actually held up pretty well graphically. It looks very nice, but it's pretty boring to play. And, you know, and it can, to be honest, you get quite tough in places. You can kick your ass a bit. I always found it difficult on the Japanese level. I always struggle on that one. In fact, I think I've got a mastered it, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'll persevere. Eventually, I'll go back to it and hopefully beat it one day. But I was surprised last time I put it on when I got my Xbox, I think last year. Might have been 23, I can't remember. But I remember when I got this last year, played this game, and the first level, I was like, wow, graphics are really... I mean, Call of Duty 2 looks barren compared to what the other Call of Duties on that system looked like at the end of the generation when you compare them. But Perfect Dark, they did a really nice job on it. We got Medal of Honor Airborne, one of the greatest first-person shooters ever made. I absolutely love this game. It is fantastic. This and Vanguard, I mean, you just can't go wrong, really. I love the Medal of Honor series. I've played this one to death many times over, and it never gets old. You know, yeah, like graphically it's a bit rough now, but it still looks good to me. Better on the 360 by a mile. PS3 version that I've got is shit. The frame rate is absolutely atrocious. When you get to the train yard in particular, it is so choppy, it'll just wreck your eyes. It's awful. Xbox a lot smoother, so a win for the 360. Then we've got a game that I had to get, I haven't had a chance to play yet, it's King Kong. I played through the original Xbox version, I think last year. Really, really enjoyed that game. It surprised me how fun that was. So I wanted to grab the 360 one because this is going up in price for some weird reason as well. Probably the bloody Game Pass crap again. But anyway, I wanted to get it on the 360 because I wanted to check out the graphics. Because I remember on the Xbox 360 demo kiosk, seeing a kid play this before we played Call of Duty 2 for the first time in 2005. And it looked really nice. So I thought, why not get the 360 version, see how it compares to the original. The upgrading graphics alone will be worth it. But it's a really fun game. I do like the King Kong game. We've got the next one is Cameo. And this is like a third-person action game with elemental stuff. I've never really played it. I've had a quick blast on the demo back in the day. And I thought, why not give it another try? And it's from Rare. So, you know, as they don't really do anything worthwhile anymore. You know, I know people like Sea of Thieves, but whatever. They've been massively underused. We've got Halo Reach, one of my favourite Halo games. In fact, probably my second favourite Halo game, I would say. I'd probably put Halo Combat Evolved first, then Reach. A lot of the Halo stuff I'm not that big a fan of, to be quite honest. I don't think they're that good. But Reach is an absolutely exceptional campaign. Beautiful game as well. Then talking of which, we've got Combat Evolved, the anniversary. Comes in a little slip cover. Yeah, bit pointless, but nonetheless, it comes in a slip cover. It's got a nice embossed raised area. I don't need to tell you about Halo, do I? I mean, it's Halo. I think most people have played Halo who want to play Halo. It's the great game. Yeah, it's far too long. I ain't going to lie. I feel like now when you play it, it does kind of drag on a bit. And it could have been a little bit shorter, but it's still a fantastic experience. Then we've got Gears of War 3, my favourite Gears of War. We've got Gears of War 2. Never completed it. Got right to the final bit with the bloke on the train with the bats. Couldn't kill the bastard. And then we got the original, which I've also never beaten. I don't know how far I got into this, and surprisingly never beats. Probably because I was playing a lot of multiplayer when this first came out, because Xbox Live was so fresh at the time. That's probably what did it. Number 3 I've completed and I absolutely adored it. Completed number 4, that was brilliant. Tried number 5, Jesus Christ, that was boring. Didn't like number 5 at all. Frontlines, Fuel of War, another really underrated Xbox 360 exclusive. Fantastic first-person shooter. Definitely graphics don't hold up that well anymore, but the gameplay is still a lot of fun. Highly recommend that one. Dead Rising 2. Now, I've never really gotten into the Dead Rising games, so I thought I'd give it a shot. I've got to get the first one, obviously, but I wanted to give these a bash. I played the demos back in the day, and I played the demo number 3 on the Xbox One, but I've never got around to actually playing them properly, so I thought I'd give it a try. Next, one of my favourite launch titles, Condemned. Never beaten it, unfortunately. Now, normally in the old days, I'd be, oh, I beat this, but this one, I've got to the bit of the swimming pool, which is quite close to the end, I believe. I need to do it. I've started it already, so, you know, when I set my Xbox back up again, I'll get back into it. But what a game. I mean, even now, I think for a 2005 game as a launch title, that holds up well. The graphics are really decent for what they are. The sound design is fantastic. I mean, I had, back in the day in 2005 when it came out, I had a surround sound system, and when those dudes are running around screaming at you, it scares the shit out of you in surround. It's absolutely brilliant. I still feel like the melee combat is still quite visceral and quite, like, makes you bounce back and go, whoa. Great game. Bit of Call of Duty action, of course. Black Ops 2, fantastic. This is the one that I originally played on Wii U. When the Wii U launched in 2012, was that, I think? Jesus, that was a long time ago. Yeah, solid campaign, one of my favourites actually, very good. Favourite launch title, Call of Duty 2. Cannot have an Xbox 360 without Call of Duty 2. Yeah, the graphics are very, very much sparse compared to what we got later on with Black Ops and all the rest of them. But the gameplay is just so brilliant on this game. Every level is so much fun. It's really still quite intense when you rack the difficulty up and play it. I have so many great memories of many hours after work playing this on Xbox Live with people around the world. One of the best games I've ever played. I love Call of Duty. So another James Bond game, of course. Bloodstone, fantastic game. One of my favourite James Bond games. I've played this a million times. I've completed it so many times, it's ridiculous. It's up there with Uncharted for one of my most played through games. I absolutely love it. Short campaign, probably about 6 to 8 hours. Third person, cover shooter, absolutely fantastic. If you love a James Bond game or you just love a good cover shooter, this is the one to play. Highly recommend it. Alan Wake, as far as I know, has been remastered because, as I said before, everything gets remastered now because there's no originality in the industry. Yeah, Alan Wake, fantastic. I remember playing it when it came out, blew me away. I loved the storyline, I loved the characters. I thought the torch and the whole mechanic of the game is really clever and interesting. I'd love to play Alan Wake 2. Whether that'll happen, I don't know, because the price of consoles these days is ridiculous and there ain't nothing that makes me want to spend all that money. You know, Indiana Jones, yeah, but I'm not spending like 500 quid or whatever just to have a PS5 and a bloody game. No thanks. No time. And then to just sit there and do updates all bleeding day before I can play the game. Nah. And lastly, we got Quantum of Solace, another game that I've rinsed. Absolutely love this. One of the best first-person shooters of this generation. I don't care what anyone says. I love this game. I love the film. I love the game. I love the fact that it mixes Casino and Quantum, two of my favourite Bond films together. It's just so much fun. So easy to just kick back with, turn off your brain and just shoot everybody. And it's just fantastic. And the more you play it, the better you get at it. And it just becomes easier to get through. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So there you go. That's all of the Xbox stuff I've purchased since my last YouTube video, which was probably around about May. So going forward, I do have obviously some proper retro to show you as well that I have picked up. I haven't picked up a lot, I've just picked up a little bit. Something in particular I'm going to show, which is very nice, which will be in a few videos time. This year I just want to try and make videos more regularly. I'm not going to promise anything because I don't know what's going to happen this year. I really don't. Life's up in the air at the moment, it's quite hectic, so we'll see what happens. But I do want to continue to make videos and I've got a lot of ideas that I want to do, so we'll see how it goes. But I will continue to keep putting up videos. I've got a lot of stuff in the post right now, a lot of Xbox stuff coming through. So I know it's not for everyone. If you don't want to watch it, you know what to do. But I will post those when they come. I might do some just straight raw reactions, just ripping them open and checking out the condition of them. That might be a good idea because I've got quite a few coming through. Or I might just pile them up and do a pickup video. We'll see. Anyway, thank you if you have watched this. Thank you very much for watching it. I appreciate it, guys. And I'll see you in the next video.